And we have a 4B pencil, we have an HB pencil, we have a 4 or 5H pencil. So we have a dark, a medium, and a light. We have a eraser, blending stump, ruler, cylinder. I'm going to use my ruler for this one here. And not right in the center, but over to the right. I'm going to draw about a 2-inch line. Here's the top of my paper here. So you can see I have about 2 inches to this line. And then I'm just going to slide the ruler over a little bit and make another 2-inch line. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then at the bottom, it's going to be like a very shallow U to connect the two. So it's not straight, it's a very shallow U. See if you can do that. And then at the top, we're going to do that same mirroring this, or parallel, that shallow U. Except for the top actually is circular. So once we go to this part, we're going to make it like an oval. So it's not like a big dome, like an oval like this. It's like a can, like a can of corn or a can of beans or a pop can. And our light source this time is going to be from the top right over here. And I kind of want you to like make little lines going this way to kind of show where the rays are going. They're actually going in this direction. And this is going to be our light source. So we'll put LS. Now make sure you're not using your H6H or 4H. Make sure you're using your HB. And we kind of want to mirror this line going that way. So the same kind of angle, about. And just sketch it out this way here. I'm just mirroring the angle of the light source. I'm sketching it out with my HB pencil. And then I'm going to switch to my 4B. And I'm going to start up here at the base where the cylinder meets the shadow. And I'm going to do that gradual transition of value from dark to light. And I can just cover up my words. Okay, so it's going to be very dark and lots of layers up here. And it's going to lighten up as it goes away from the form just a little bit. So remember, the key to this is built up layers of value, not really pressing hard. So I'm building up another layer. I can increase my pressure as I do it, but I don't really want to push down too hard. Of course, once I'm done, I can blend and I can clean off my blending stump and start at the lighter value. So remember, this is called the cast shadow, so let's label that. And the next thing we want to do is put in the core shadow. So that's where it's darkest on the form. So it's really important when we do this that we have not a straight line but a curved line. So it kind of mirrors this U right here, this shallow U. And our core shadow is going to be going down the center. See how I'm kind of making little curve U's? I'm using my HB pencil. And I'm going pretty much straight down the form, maybe a little bit off to the left. And then the next layer, I'm just going to kind of take and follow that angle here and just generally put some angled lines in to fill in the value. Again, I'm using the side of my pencil. I'm not using the tip. And I can go back the other angle if I want to fill in some more, which I do. But you notice I'm not really worrying about the edge of the shadow. The edge of the shadow should be something that is lighter than the core of the shadow. I'm just going down the center part here with some more pencil. Actually, I should switch to my 4B. Just down the center here. And you'll notice you don't really want to see your pencil marks or pencil lines. It's very blurry. And then I'm going to, again, take my blending stump, clean it off. I'm going to start in the edges and do little circles. I'm going to go the edge and then out. I want it to be light on the very edges and darker towards the center. Getting a little bit, going in and out, in. You can also take your finger if you want to blend more. Although I don't recommend, like if you're working on a really big composition, to use your finger because the oils from your finger will kind of make it stain, and then if you like mess up, you can't erase it very well. But just for something like this, you can just on the edge use your finger if you want. And this one is called our core shadow. It's in the core of the form. Okay, and so we're going to put the highlight up here, but the highlight does have a little bit of information, so I'm going to use my 5H or 4H pencil, and just to make it seem like a three-dimensional form, just around the edge here, around the ends here, I'm going to put in a little information, and around the back. It's very light. And I can blend it, clean off my blending stump and blend it. That's our highlight. The horizon line is what we're going to do. And I need it to be somewhere between the top of the form and the middle of the form. So I'm just going to do it like right about there. And take my HB pencil and just kind of gauge to see if it's straight. Just draw a line there, draw a line there. It really does help place it in space. So that's our horizon line. And we have done hatching in the background. We have done something called scumbling in the background. This one I want to do stippling in the background, but I want to let you know stippling is not banging your pencil on the paper. Okay, it's quiet. But what stippling is little dots. Okay, and sometimes the little dots move a little bit, and so it ends up being little dashes, and that's okay. But again, you shouldn't hear the pencil because you don't want to like break the pencil. And it takes a long time, so what I'm doing is just kind of going around the edge here, or generally around the form in the background first to kind of build up that. You notice I hold my pencil pretty far back so I don't have a super tight grip on it, and then I can kind of just get light little dots. It can start to look like it's raining, so if it starts to look like lines going down, change your pencil direction. It just gives the background some information, some visual information. Okay, so that was our cylinder, and you guys are getting good at this. You're getting going a little bit faster. So now we're going to do our last one today, and that is our cone. Go ahead and write cone down here. Cone. And a cone is like a cylinder. But it's pointed at the top. So I'm just going to draw about a 2-inch line at an angle. I don't know what angle that is. And I'm going to kind of mirror it on the other side at a different angle, like that. Okay, and the bottom is just like that cylinder. It's that gentle U shape. So like a curved bottom there. And our light source is now going to be at the top left. LS. I'm just going to make some rays going that way. And so for our shadow, it's going to start here at the base. And it's still like a cone shape. And I'm not really going to use my ruler, but I'm going at it at an angle this way. And then this one is also at an angle, but maybe not as severe, right, because it's a cone shape. So we're going to use our 4B pencil, and right up at the base of the shadow, we're going to color it in a little bit darker. Remember, I'm using a curved line. If you're going horizontal, make sure it's curved so it kind of matches it, especially close to the form. As we go out here, it doesn't have to be as much. And up at the top, here's where you can kind of use your hatching or your stippling, cross-hatching. Right? You won't be able to see it because it'll be layers and layers of it. So you can do some X's in here or some dots or some scumbling to get that really dark up in here. It doesn't have to just be for the background. And then as it goes out, you can still do that just with a lighter touch and less layers. I'm doing cross-hatching right now. You could do stippling as well. And I'm going to use my blending stump, clean it off. Start at the light, do little circles. This is scumbling too, just with the blending stump. Okay, and if it's not dark enough up here by the form, we can add more. Alright, and this is called the cast shadow, right? This was cast down. We're going to do our core shadow next. And the core shadow is just pretty similar to the cylinder, except for it's in more of a V shape. So the shadow itself is going to be wider down here. Remember, I'm using my U, kind of softened U. And as it goes up, it's going to get skinnier. Right? Not that skinny, but especially down here, make it curve. And blend it out. Remember, when you're blending, you're using the lightest, you're blending the lightest part first. This is our core shadow. So every form has two shadows, a core and a cast shadow. Now we need to talk about the highlight. Because technically, in something like this, the highlight would probably be behind, right? Because it's like pointed like this. So I'm just going to say that the highlight is kind of back behind here. Highlight. And then we're going to do our horizon line, and again, you just want it to not go through the form. And then we need our background, and so you can choose whichever one you like. I personally just really like to do hatching, which is one direction then another, kind of a slant. That's just what I like. So at the end of all of these practices, this is what your sheet should look like.